Division All-Stars were announced today. You only have 4. Quite a drop from the days of 15 and 11. What is that? How do you interpret that result?
I think it doesn't really matter. Don't really pay attention to that stuff. We love our players.
Yeah.
You know, I think every team likes their own guys. So, and however the votes work, it doesn't really matter.
Reflective of records, I guess, typically.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're asking
You
the wrong
get a
guy.
vote too, don't you? You vote, don't you?
I get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you base your votes on?
I tend not to base it on anything.
Okay. Tony Jones is one, of course.
Yeah. Good year.
Yeah. I don't know. Asked him if it was validation for him, and you know, in some ways he thought it was. How do you see it as kind of him growing into Adam's shoes a bit? You know, filling them?
I don't know that we.
He's his own guy.
Yeah, they're always their own guys. You know, they want to be their own man. Is there? I mean, I think as a pro, you probably watch film and see how other guys do things, and you try and, you know, steal from here and there to try and get better. You know, he was around Biggie, so, and Biggie's you know, a guy to learn from for sure. I mean, he's relentless in his pursuit of excellence too, right?
Yeah.
And Tony's a relentless guy, but style and personality and everything completely different, right? So
When a guy like Adam moves on, though, or you move on from him, then you always think there's going to be a drop-off. Would it be fair to say that Tony has virtually eliminated or minimized that drop-off?
then once again, they have different styles, and we ask them to do different things, right? I mean, that's just the way it works. You always try to find the strengths of the guys you have and play to that. I mean, once again, Tony's, you know, he is a relentless chaser of the football, right? Like, he is after it all the time. And that's, not everybody has that.
Yesterday, you liked what you saw practice
Yeah,
today?
yeah, yeah.
Ready to play tomorrow, or need a couple more days?
Well, we don't have to play tomorrow, so we'll take the time, you know. I think it's always valuable, the time you have, as long as you're making good use of it. Then, you know, let's make sure we take in as much information and have as many football conversations as we can have between now and kickoff, right? So I'm not really faced with that question. Would our guys be just ready to take the field right now? Absolutely. But you got to let it simmer a little bit first.
Yeah. How much is the weather going to play into what you plan to do?
Nothing really. No. We had a couple rain practices this week or last week too, whatever it was. It's cooling down. It's a great day today, but no, the weather's not going to.
Okay.
I don't think it'll affect either team.
Many fans are looking back to 2019, knowing that you're going to have to go on a similar run here to get to where you want to be. How much do you look back at that experience as you plan for this week, or do you just block that out and it's a whole new kind of experience this week? How much do you look back at past experiences like that?
Yeah, I haven't really. I mean, it's there in the memory bank knowing that you can do it. You know, I don't know. A lot of people say you can't or whatever, but a bunch of these guys have. So I don't think it's really that big a deal.
Some of the guys saying, hey, we like this underdog role. We're not used to this underdog role heading into the playoffs. How do you treat being the underdog?
I don't talk about us being favored. I wouldn't talk about us being an underdog. It doesn't make a difference. It's in any, you know, game with this kind of implication. Or how are we going to execute? You know, make sure we play hard, make sure we execute well, limit the mistakes, make the plays when they come your way, and how people view you is irrelevant.
Yep.
Mike, just how different is playoff football to week 10 or whatever it is?
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a lot more emotion tied to it, I imagine. The finality of it is there, it looms, right? So there's got to be a little more pressure probably. But if you take like playoff hockey compared to regular season hockey, and you're asking that question, it's the football, right? It doesn't change that much.
Is there a bit of a learning curve though for someone who maybe hasn't experienced the do or die?
I
playoff
think by the
football?
time guys get to this level, they played in big games that, they felt the emotion of, right? So, yeah, I think they're prepared that way.
You've talked about how you're really impressed with the demeanor of the group right now. Do you think a big reason for that is just because there is so much experience in that room, so many guys that have experienced the highs and lows of the playoffs, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a big part of it, right? They know what to expect. They've been there before. They've done it. They've also had some failure, too, that they learn from. I mean, each one of those playoff appearances is a good learning experience. But we're a new team, and they have to move forward, and they did that a long time ago. But at certain points, they're going to draw on a past experience for sure. I mean, that's what allows you to grow.
But experience isn't everything, I take it? I mean,
No, on the day, it's execution and, controlling your emotions and those kind of things. And I think once again, the young guys that haven't been in this position here have probably been in the similar position at another level somewhere else, right?
how do you guys get this passing attack going against one of the best passing defenses in the league?
Be where you're supposed to be on block, throw, catch, run, block some more. I mean, it's a pretty simple game in that regard.
But even though, you guys are a little nicked up on offense and stuff, and the last, 2 or so games that all the starters played maybe weren't the sharpest, offensively at least. Why should people not be concerned about, the offense going into a tough place like Montreal against a tough defense?
Well, whatever people want to be concerned about or not concerned about is not my business. I don't really care.
Or
right?
you, why aren't you concerned, I guess?
Because once again, the answer is simple, and I think you know it. I've said it a bunch of times. I'm here every day with these guys, watching them work, and how much they enjoy being around each other, and they want to make sure they extend that and get a couple more practices.
Just Nick Dembski's Division All-Star for the 5th time, just what he's been to you guys this year, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, just Zach trusts him like crazy. He knows where he's going to be, what he's going to do. They're on the same page all the time. They see the defense is the same. They see football the same way in that regard. And he's always one of the better athletes on the field at all times.
Did he practice today?
Well, yeah, get the injury report in a little bit whenever that comes out.
Mike, how are you?
Ed.
It seems like so much of this time of year for you and the guys is just sort of embracing whatever the situation is. If you have a home playoff game, it's perfect. If you got to go on the road
all
and win
perfect.
10, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why that approach?
Because you work so hard during the season to get to this point that you're in, right? And once again, nobody's happy just to be in. But I think they've seen throughout the season, once again, what this team's capable of if we play sharp three-phase football, right? So I think they're really excited about their opportunity.
I find it interesting that if we bring up stuff like no crossover team has ever done anything, like I guess what you always say is the history doesn't matter now, does it? Is that?
Why would it, right? Anybody can win on any given day. Who's going to execute better? Who's going to make fewer mistakes? That's all part of execution. Who's going to play hard and do it for the right reasons, right?
You've got a bunch of vets in that room, but what have you seen from the new guys that gives you confidence this week too, how they've embraced this too?
Yeah, I think the amount of time that the guys have gotten during the season has been excellent, right? That these guys have been building better plays and better plays and better plays all through the season, right? It's not like you're dropping them in, really. A lot of these young guys have gotten a lot of work, which is pretty neat.